Hi, welcome back. This video is about fitting an Eduard flap detail kit on the Airfix 124 scale Mark 9 Spitfire. Now I bought this kit after I started building the wing. I bought it at the same time, but I wasn't convinced I was going to fit it at one point. Because when you look at the parts, it looks quite daunting. So I wasn't sure about fitting it, but for long story short, I decided to have a go at it. So this is a process of how to do it. I can't do all of it because you can't fit the actual flap bit, if you like, because it's too fragile to fit and then work on the rest of the model. So you have to fit the flap at the end of the build. So this is a part one of how to build the bit that goes in the bottom of the wing. So it's the detail part of that. It's quite a long video because it's quite a little, and it's not difficult to do it. It's fiddly, very fiddly to do. But I can't, as I say, it's going to be a part one because this bit's going to have to come separate, and you also need some tubing and stuff to fit through the little ribs and everything. So it's just basically a long video on how to do this. I can't do it any shorter. I could flip through it and do little snippets of it magically appearing, but you wouldn't actually see how it's done. So it's a long video, I apologise for that, and I'm going to put chapters in it, so it will show little stages of where you are with it. Now you could have, if you were going to do this, I'm going to quickly show you a quick result. You could do this part before you assemble the wing and cut the plastic parts away, but I didn't have that opportunity. But I think this is okay anyway because of the way it's built, but the video footage will show what I mean. So yeah, footage to follow. I'll do some more at the end of the video, so enjoy. I've put some music on it so you can mute it if you want. Okay, footage to follow. I'll put some, by the way, I'll put some pictures up of the actual flaps and how they look on the real aircraft. They do vary from Mark Spitfire, so the little idiosyncrasies of how they're actually built do vary from like Mark 5s, Mark 9s, Mark 16s and stuff, so it doesn't really matter because they're reasonably the same, but there you go. Okay, welcome back. I cleared all this area out here. As you can see, it's you've chopped quite a big piece of plastic out there, and on the upper part of the wing. Now, obviously, you can do this before you actually build the wing assembly. I think it does actually recommend you do that when you get the kit, but I wasn't sure I was going to fit the flaps at this stage anyway, so this is an afterthought. It's something I bought after I'd already done the wings, so it's not a problem. I mean, in fact, I think it's better really, because now that this wing's now attached to that part of the wing fillet, you can see what's going on. It would have been easier just to better trim these away a bit first, I suppose. Now, I will point out as well, I think I mentioned it on a video somewhere else, I can't remember. When you buy these kits, sometimes the wings aren't straight, they're warped. This part of the wing is not straight at all. They can have quite a bad bow in them. So when you buy one of these kits, make sure, check it before. If you get it online, you just have to hope for the best, I suppose. But I have had one where the wing is got a definite bow in this, which will make fitting this sort of thing quite difficult. So try and buy one from a shop, take the box lid off and have a look at the wings and see make sure these trailing edges are nice and straight. So the next stage, these are the Eduard instructions, and they're quite good actually. If you follow them, there's no words involved, it's just pictures. But yeah, if you follow the stages, it's quite easy to do really. So the first thing you need to do is fit this insert piece here, which I've done on this side obviously. It's just that little piece that goes into there. It goes in at an angle, and it kind of forms a piece of the structure on this side. Now, to create the holes in there, because it's if you imagine when you put the piece on, the holes kind of bridge across a piece of plastic, so it's not a straight line and you can't get a drill in there properly. So what I did to make the holes, because you end up with just plastic behind these holes here, I heated this up, old map gas butane thing, and heated the tip of this up, and I melted the holes into this, because it won't melt the PE stuff, it will melt the plastic underneath it. So if you carefully just melt the plastic away underneath it to create the holes in there, it might work quite well. So I'll go through actually fitting or preparing this part. It's not easy to fit, I've got to say. It's not hard to fit, but it's fiddly. So it's not something I can do on video very easily, but I'll do my best. But I may have to finish it off camera. So I'm sure people are familiar with PE parts, and I won't try and teach people how to do that. I'm not that. PE is quite new to me in a lot of ways. I haven't used a great deal of it, so I'm still learning the best ways to get the best out of PE. I've learned quite early on, try and cut as close as you can. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. Try, cut as close as you can to the edges, so you don't have to get rid of the little burry bits. I've sanded this, by the way, just to get rid of the, just to sand it, to get rid of the kind of rough coating you get on them sometimes. So that's okay. Now you have to bend that. It still has some little burry bits on there, so I'll try and cut those off if I can. It's very fragile. It's fragile, but it's kind of forgiving. You can bend it quite a lot before it kind of fails, so it's not bad. It's very, very thin. Yeah, I like it. So that needs a bend in it. I'll have a pliers gone. Okay, better lead plans and all that. I have some pliers that do quite well in this. These are they're not PE pliers at all. They're just flat pliers. And it shows on the instructions to put a bend in like this. Now you don't know the angle until you put it in the model, so you've got to kind of guess. So you're bending along this line here. So just try and get it as accurate as you can. I'm going to invest in some better pliers. You can get some specifically for this job. It's not much of a bend, to be fair, because it's already got a groove in it. Now you notice there's a slot just there where this part of the flap actually goes through that slot, and it creates, and I can get to focus, it goes through that slot there, in that part there. This looks a bit scruffy at the moment because I've given it a quick coat of green paint. It's not the colour green I like, it's too dark for me, so I've mixed in the batch up that's lighter. And I've also scratched away the bits of excess super glue that was kind of still there, but I couldn't see it properly until I'd given it a quick coat of paint. I'm not a big primer person. I don't think you need primer as much as people make out. So I'm quite happy to go for it. If the surface of the plastic's good or whatever you're painting is good, I don't bother priming it. I do on the whole model. If I was going to paint the whole fuselage and the wings and everything, I would probably give them a coat of primer, but for small detailed parts like, I don't know, this sort of thing, if you hit that with some heavy primer, you're going to hide some of the detail anyway. So if it's good, I'll just go straight at it with the colour it's going to be. But in this case, it's worked quite nicely because I have identified some little marks of glue and things. So yeah, it looks a bit scabby at the minute, but when I've got this side done, I'm going to foil the rest of the bit that I'm going to, if you look at the builds I've done before, I'm going to have to refoil all this area and all the wing roots and everything. So when that's all been refoiled, then I'll repaint these. So I won't do the foiling on camera because I've already done that once, but anyway, we're going to get this bit done. I'm going to try and show you how it works. So it's trying to keep it in camera as well. So this bit, I'm trying to bend it a bit more. You have to kind of guess and then fiddle with it. Bend it about that angle there. A bit more. I'm going to guess about there. So what you need to do then, this kind of hooks under that bit into there, and it's a devil of a job to get in, as you can imagine. So you have to cut bits of plastic away and faff around with it. So as you can see, it's a bit resistant to go in there. I'll try and do it on camera, but if I can't, I'll have to do it off camera. Fun. Don't go all the way on there. You know. It's stuck now. Great. So now it comes out a bit chewed up. It did that on the last one as well, so that's quite normal. It is for me. Straighten it out best you can. So I watch a lot of these people building videos, and it always seems to go really well, doesn't it? Everything's perfect and nothing goes wrong, and it's like they build a model that took them 4 months to build in 20 minutes on video, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. But I'm sure the reality of it is that this happened to them all the time. So that's not my style, I can't do it like that. I'm trying to show it warts and all. So yeah. Dead easy, that, wasn't it? It's not quite in right yet, but it's not far off. I'll try and get that edge at the top like that one. That's not far off actually. Get in there. Just a little bit stuck. I think that's enough to, that's going to get, foil's going to go down that edge a little bit. And then when I paint it, the paint will go over the bit of foil that goes down there, so I think that'll be okay. It's not a massively seen piece anyway, but I think that's about as best I can do with that. If I try and push it, it's going to break. So there we are, that's that. I think that bit's in enough. Okay, so now to glue that in. I don't think that'll move anywhere. I don't think it'd go anywhere. Just, I'm going to drop a little bit of super glue in. And get it out of the pocket. There we go. Doesn't need much. Cocktail sticks on it. Please excuse the dog barking. Just a bit in there like that. It's quite thin super glue as this, so it should run into the behind the PE. And then I'm just going to try and flatten that down with a file. So there we go. So now, as you can see, there are 4 holes in there. I used to say to my dad, what's that all for? Lightness, son, lightness. And that's basically what these are, it's just to remove any unnecessary weight. So I need to try and get holes in there. Now you can't drill those, as I said, because you're right on the edge of a piece of plastic and you can't get the drill bit in. So I'm just going to show how I did this. I'm not saying it's the right way, and be careful doing it because it involves fire and plastic and yeah. See that video, and I don't want to melt my plane. So we're just going to skewer that bit of PE there. I'm just going to warm it up off camera because I don't want to get it too close to the rest of the model because it'll melt it obviously. show what's behind this. Nearly there. Okay. So that's that piece in. The next stage is to prepare this part, which is the insert that goes into here. So we need to remove that part from the metal sprue. So I've done some of it. I think I've done some of it. So just try and get as close to the edges as you can. Now these little pieces here all fold over to create the ribs, as does this piece here. So it's not, yeah, it's quite fun to do this. It's alright. I'm just going to get it all clear. I think we're done now. I was just thinking about this sort of detail. And I don't want to bash the kit too much because I love it. I love this kit. But if this was a Tamiya kit, you wouldn't have to do this, because it would already be there. Or at least they'd certainly make a better effort, to the point where you wouldn't need to do it. Or if they didn't, they'd actually supply the PE to go with it. But anyway, that's irrelevant because it's not a Tamiya kit. So what we do now, I think you have to remove that piece. Let me just check it. It says remove that piece. It's just an infill piece to support the structure. But going back to the Tamiya comment, if it was a Tamiya kit, what would I make a video about? It'd be boring, wouldn't it? It'd be less interesting, because it's just like, I don't know, they're not as interesting to build for me, because there's less scope to do this sort of thing, I suppose. So we've got, you bend that over now. And then you put a twist. Just want to remember the twist is going the right way. It goes that way. So these little ribs, you just put a twist in them. If you twist them the wrong way, they won't fold over. So I'm doing that one the wrong way. And basically you do that. So then we've got all of the ribs straightened up. Okay, so, and then into there. Now the hard part now is keeping this thing from floating around while you glue it, and you can obviously bend it quite easily as well, which I've just done. That piece, come here, this piece is the rib that goes over there, like that. Like so. And then this one folds up at the end. Quite tricky, that one. So we end up with that structure. Now what we're trying to do is glue all this little lot down. Well, I don't glue the ribs down. I don't think they need it at the moment, and if you're not careful you can snap them off as well, which we don't want to do if we can help it. So all I'm doing now is going to glue that trailing edge of this down, which is really hard. Again, bit of super glue. Now I've tried the really thin super glue, but I found it really difficult to apply. It doesn't pick up on the cocktail stick, it just kind of falls off, so it doesn't stick to anything. Let's do that in stages along here now. Now, as I say, I'm not an expert on PE. It's not my. I'm quite new to this. So if somebody knows a better way of doing this, please tell me. So that one's snapped off, look. So what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to glue it on like that. At least try to. And then glue it to my finger. Get off. Now, we're going to do that one later. Get off me. Let's get the other one sorted first. Get it on there. It doesn't need much much glue once it gets under there. It grabs hold of it and it's pretty good. That's pretty good, that. If it gets stuck to the bench, pretty much all you can do is cut it off. Just trim under it. So, quite happy with that, apart from that one that broke off. Don't worry too much about these getting folded over, you can straighten them later. So let's try and get that one back on. This is going to be tricky. I need to get the glue off it now because super glue doesn't stick very well to other super glue. Oops. Come back. Right. And where it goes now. It needs to go there. Right, so what I'm going to do, look at it all. I'll be back when I've decided where it's going. Okay, I'm back. Now then, that piece needed to go there, but I didn't film putting it on there because I don't like to swear on YouTube if I can help it, so I ended up doing it off camera. So, next bit is to stick this piece on, which is, on the instructions is, where's it gone? This piece here, it's like a trim piece that goes over the top. With little brackets on to strengthen the whole structure up. So that bit goes on there like that. Now you notice I've put the actual flat assembly on this board. This is a Cricut it's a cutting machine for cutting out, I use it for cutting out masks and stuff for when I'm painting decals and things like that, and insignias and stuff, and it's sticky. It's got like you put your mask material on there, it stays in one place, so you can then put it on the cutting machine and it does it. But it's really good for putting this stuff on because it doesn't move around, it doesn't flop about all over the place. So I've just stuck it to that temporarily, and now I'm just going to super glue this on. Now with PE, I don't know if anybody has noticed, don't ever try and put the glue on and then try and put the part on top of it, because it'll grab hold of it and you'll never be able to move it again, or you'll struggle. So it's always better to put the piece in place and just drop it in like that. And then just tack it along the edge. I'm not too concerned about excess glue, I'll scrape it off afterwards. In this particular case I can put a bit of glue there, so I know where it's going to go. There we go. Bend that up. Yeah, it's fiddly stuff. I think it's worth the effort most of the time, but it can be a little bit frustrating, I've got to say. I think that's on. I can always adjust it when it's on the actual model itself. Bit on there, bit in there. I don't want to do it. There we go. A bit at the end. Once it's actually connected to the actual airframe of the model, it's easier to mess with. Right, so that's that bit done. Just have to get this off here now. Right. And then the final stage is to bend these. These are the hinges for the actual flap assembly. So it kind of goes over there. Just a minute. They bend down like so. There's 3 of these. That one's looking like it's going to drop off, and it did. I'm not too concerned because I don't think you're going to see these much. Put that over there. And then we just need to put a dab of glue under each one. And that is that, basically. I'm not sure what I can do about that. I don't think it's going to matter too much. I'm not going to build the rest of the flap assembly yet because it can't go on the model anyway because it's too fragile. So this is going to be a part 1 of the flap assembly, and this bit then goes in there. Again, a bit fiddly. Goes into there like that, kind of. Might have to make that slot a bit bigger. I'll zoom you out a little bit. So that bit glues in there. It leaves an edge on it as well. So I think how far that goes down. It's a bit like a fly's wing, it's right fragile at the moment, and then once it's on the model it's fine. I just need to straighten that up a bit. Okay. It's not difficult at all. Right. Quite hard to move because of these each ribs, you could snap them all off trying to get them in place. This needs to go that way a little bit more. There we go. I got it. So that's now in place. Dead easy that, wasn't it? Dead easy. I can guess you're all going to rush out and buy this PE kit now, aren't you? So now all you need to do is super glue it in place, and again it's better to get it in situ and then just drop some glue in the edges. There's the glue that works, all that stuff. I don't glue it anywhere else apart from the trailing edge. I might try and get a bit down one end. That bit needs definitely to be pushed down now. Okay, you get the idea. Nearly there. I don't know what you lot do, but I go through a lot of cocktail sticks. I use them a lot. Cotton buds and cocktail sticks. Right, that's that. So I'm now going to clean this up, make it presentable, and the next stage I'm going to have to basically file the rest of the model that I've done before. When I get back to that stage, and I'm going to paint it, and I'll try and paint it on video. So I'm back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. It's took a lot longer than expected. I was going to film painting this, but it isn't really necessary to film the painting of this area. It was quite hard to do though. It took a lot longer than expected to get them looking how I think it's reasonable. This trailing edge area here is quite difficult to do. You've got like 2 layers of brass. You've got a brass part at the bottom, and then you've got the brass part on top of it, and then you've got it obviously glued to the plastic. So I've had to spend a lot of time trying to blend that area in here. So yeah, that was I'm quite happy with it now. It's not too bad. And I've filed around some of it. I've filed the fillets now. I've had to, if you look at one of my previous videos, I've done a video about how I wasn't happy with the thickness of the Airfix kit version of these fillets. So I've thinned them down considerably, and then refiled them again, and I've obviously done the same on this side. It's quite shiny at the moment, so polish it up just to kind of see where it stood, if you like, on niggly bits. So it's quite a good way of showing areas that need attention, so it won't stay this shiny. So that's that done. If I was going to do this again, I would fit. I'll try and find the part that I'm talking about on the diagram. Have a bit with it. This, no, not that bit. Where's it gone? Oh. Here's it gone. That bit, which is this trailing edge here. I would fit that after you've put this assembly onto the wing, actually. It would be easier to position in the right place. So that's the only thing I would change about this build. As regards detailing it, I was considering, I don't know, bringing out the detail with some panel liner, but I'm starting to lose favour with panel liner. I think it looks good, it makes the thing pop, and it looks quite, it enhances the detail that's there. But when you look at real photographs of aircraft, it doesn't look like that, and I don't want it to look fake. And I'm starting to feel most panel liner does that. It makes the thing look like a cartoon character. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it like this, because that's how a real one would look. I know it's a small version of a real one, but that's how it's going to stay for now anyway. I can always add more. I might enhance it a little bit with some other methods, but I certainly aren't going to put any panel liner on it. Next stage is, as I say, I've foiled this part of it and that part of it, so now it's basically the wings. I might have to touch it all up again when I've finished foiling the bottom of the fuselage and stuff. So anyway, it's a long video. Thanks for watching it. I know it's I don't know how to film this without showing it kind of real time, because yeah, you can just dip into the chapters and have a look how it's done. But yeah, thanks for watching.